Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Schaefer Center here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, on the campus of Indiana Tech. The Indiana Tech Warriors taking on St. Xavier tonight here at the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech 2-1 on the season. They opened it with a loss to Huntington, but they've won the last two since, and the Warriors look to keep that winning streak going. By the way, this is the Warrior Classic. 4 games in 2 days. Got Indiana Tech taking on St. Xavier tonight, and that'll be followed by Rochester versus Olivet Nazarene. And then tomorrow it'll be Rochester versus St. Xavier for the first game. And then for the second game, Indiana Tech will take on Olivet Nazarene. So it's back-to-back home games for the Warriors as they try to keep their winning ways going. I say winning ways, they've won the last 2 games. Of course, one of those games was against a pretty well-coached Georgetown team, a team that used a lot of pressure, and Indiana Tech was able to make adjustments as the game went on and eventually pull away in the fourth quarter. The last game, however, was a blowout, 88-47 over Miami Hamilton. Started out looking pretty close, but Indiana Tech was able to pull away, and of course, Kyra Whitaker was a big part of that. 25 points in the win. She hit 5 threes in the game and was instrumental in leading the Warriors to the win. I believe she also had 5 assists in that particular game. Now, for Whitaker, it's her 3rd game finishing over double figures on the season. I believe she's the 2nd Warrior to reach 20-plus points this year, the first being Juliana Burris. That was in the opener against Huntington. Erica Foy came awful close in the win against Georgetown. She scored 19, although Taylor Covington and Kyra Whitaker also scored in double figures that night. So 3 Warriors in double figures for that game. So that's another thing to celebrate from the Georgetown game. And, of course, this Warrior team is very well coached. Jessie Biggs coming off of 4 straight WAC titles, trying to make it 5 straight. She and the Warriors were picked to finish first in the WAC conference coming into this season. Now we've still got a lot of season left to play, and, of course, conference play is yet to start. I do believe the Warriors play their first conference game of the season this coming Wednesday against Siena Heights. That'll be a 6 p.m. tip for the women, and then the men will tip off at 8 p.m. So that'll be the men's home opener, conference opener for the women. That's coming up Wednesday. But first, Indiana Tech looking to get through the Warrior Classic. St. Xavier today and Olivet Nazarene tomorrow. Be back in just a matter of moment. You are watching Indiana Tech women's basketball.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, helps students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material. And I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is good to see Bethany Worm back in the lineup. I did reach out to head coach Jesse Biggs about both her and Lainey Steckler, and Biggs did say that Worm would be back in the lineup, that she's been at practice since the game against Miami Hamilton where she was out with an injury. She did say that Steckler was 50-50. Looking to the sideline, and I so far do not see Lainey in uniform. So she might not see any action tonight. She is, of course, from right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and she's a graduate student. But we're about to have the tip-off between St. Xavier and Indiana Tech, and this game is underway. The tip comes right back to Genevieve Decker. They work this one over to the corner for Foy. And I beg your pardon, I think Foy was the one who got the tip on the ball that came right back to her. Kyra Whitaker coming off that big 25-point performance. She'll dish this one off to Bethany Worm, and that shot is no good. And back the other way come the Cougars. This is Claire Austin with the feed to the inside, and Alicia Greenshaw is able to put it home. And the Cougars have the first points of the night. That's not the first time this has happened this year. That happened against Georgetown, but Indiana Tech was able to come back and win that game despite falling behind early. I believe they fell behind 4-0 in that one. That's Foy who has it ripped away. Alyssa Crenshaw. Check that. That's Maya Fawcett, and Fawcett gets the basketballs out of bounds. Juliana Burris with the basketball, junior out of Dublin, Ohio. Of course, she had that big 24-point performance against Huntington in the opener. The dish inside, and the shot no good by Foy. She had the look. Last touched apparently by the Cougs. That is Taylor Covington to put the ball in play. Long inbound to Burris, and she's got it. Long three, Kyra Whitaker splashes it home. And just like that, Indiana Tech has the lead. And Whitaker coming off that big 25-point performance against Georgetown. Fawcett, the kick, They work it back outside to Kalia Neighbors, and Neighbors, check that, that's Eliana Durrell. Shot clock down to 7. Traveling is the call. I think they got Maya Fawcett for shuffling the feet there. Foy off the shot fake, gives it up to Covington. And a little miscommunication, that's taken away. I think Covington might have thought that was going to go off the back of a defender. It did not. A little fake and a drive by Streeter. And with the right hand, that shot is no good. Battle for the rebound. And that's Crenshaw who got the board. Dishes it out to Streeter. Alyssa Streeter driving to the basket, draws a double team. Shot no good, but she's fouled. Foul is called on Kyra Whitaker, and now a sub will come in, and this is Genevieve Decker checking into the game. She'll give Juliana Burris an early breather. Streeter at the free throw line for St. Xavier, and she's able to connect. And she's got a chance to give the lead right back to the Cougars. Indeed, the Cougs do have the lead. Slowing down as Decker gets it outside to Worm. Had nobody down on the block, so the ball continues to move outside the perimeter, and we got a little hand check foul there on the far side of the court. I think they called that on Alyssa Streeter. Just got the announcement it was Streeter who was called for the foul. Covington, the inbound to Bethany Worm. Whitaker backs it out, drives into the paint, and somehow Worm's able to get a hold of the ball. Whitaker drives, 9 on the shot clock. She draws a double team. Worm gets inside, throws it up, and couldn't finish. And it's essentially one and done as Streeter comes the other way and slows it down across the timeline. Poked away by Foy. Bethany Worms got it, the lob. That's Covington. Finds Foy, spinning in, blocked. Alyssa Crenshaw. They get it to Austin. Warriors in a man-to-man set. They go inside here to Maya Fawcett, and she couldn't put it home. Foy across the timeline, and wide open as Whitaker hits another one. 2 threes already for Kyra Whitaker. She had 5 of them in the game Tuesday against Miami Hamilton. They crowd the inside, and ball's kicked out to Crenshaw. This is Austin at the top of the key. She fires a 3, and that's an air ball. Subs will come in, including Corinne Smith, a sophomore out of Fenton, Michigan. Juliana Burris also back in for the Warriors. And a timeout, I believe, has been called by the Warriors. Nope. It was a timeout, but it was called by head coach Travis Brewster of St. Xavier. Now, Travis Brewster, I believe, is in his first year at St. Xavier. He's got coaching experience at University of North Dakota, spent several years as head coach there, won a couple of Big Sky Conference championships. So he's got some experience under his belt that he brings to St. Xavier. And reaching out with head coach Jessie Biggs of Indiana Tech, she said that both St. Xavier and Olivet Nazarene are 2 very good teams out of the Chicagoland Athletic Conference. She expects great competition from all 4 schools, including Indiana Tech and Rochester. Of course, Tech will not play Rochester in this tournament. Here they beat the press. Get the ball to Smith. Covington will slow things down. They go inside to Smith. Check that, it's Foy. Wave off the shot. She was fouled. I think they got the foul on Alyssa Streeter. That's her second. Still 5:32 left to go in this first quarter. Burris looking to feed it inside, and a foul from behind going to be called on Claire Austin. St. Xavier is out of Chicago, and Claire Austin is a native originally of Chicago. Went to Davenport Marist in Michigan. Foy puts it down, off the glass, no good. Austin with the rebound for St. Xavier. Looks to lob it inside. Foy got a hand on that thing, and then a foul on the interior. Looked like Foy and Smith were in the area, and they're going to give the foul to Corinne Smith. Bethany Worm will check in for her. And a sub will come in for St. Xavier. That's Leah Chudzik from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Corner three, that is no good. And the rebound easily grabbed by Taylor Covington. Covington races down the floor, tries to get inside. Looked initially like a 2-3 zone, and a foul is called on the interior. And that will send Genevieve Decker to the free throw line. They call the foul on Claire Austin, the senior 6-foot flat forward. I believe that's Rochester just walking into the gym right now. Rochester will not play against Indiana Tech in this tournament. However, they are a part of the WAC conference. So the two teams will see each other twice this season. Second one, no good. Decker goes 0 for 2 on that trip as the Warriors had a chance to add to their lead. Not a lot of scoring so far in this one. Ball's out of bounds, last touched by St. Xavier. Kyra Whitaker back into the game. Little full court pressure put on here by St. Xavier. Torres is able to get the ball across the timeline. She finds Worm. Whitaker was wide open, but Worm was well guarded. That would have been a tough pass. Shot clock down to 8. Whitaker. The dish, and Smith for the three, in and out. Kept alive for the moment, and St. Xavier's got it. Down the floor comes Jaden Green, gets into the paint. Goes back outside. That's Chudzik, or check that, Crenshaw, and she banks it in off the glass. Whitaker across the timeline finds Decker. Just 2 Kyra Whitaker threes have been the only points in the game thus far for Indiana Tech. Smith was thinking about a three. Baseline drive, the kick to Smith, and Smith able to put it in along the baseline. Tough bucket by Smith, but the Warriors take the lead. Eleanor Harris had it poked away. That's Decker who causes the turnover. Kick to the corner, Burris is open, but her three wouldn't fall. Rather easy rebound for Alyssa Crenshaw. Jaden Green, the freshman from Evansville, Indiana, with the basketball. Evansville down near the Kentucky border. Shot clock is down to 7. A dribble to the right by Crenshaw, loose ball and a foul. With the shot clock winding down, that foul is going to extend the shot clock. It's not a shooting foul. Covington and Foy will check back into the game for the Warriors. And for the Cougars, it's Kalia Neighbors, another freshman out of Evansville, Indiana. Shot clock is reset to 20 seconds. That foul was called on Genevieve Decker, just her first. Off the glass on the shot by Corey Hamill. And the Cougars have tied the game. Catch and shoot 3 from Whitaker, that's no good. Would have been her third of the game already. The dish back outside, Neighbors. They go inside, tough catch by Crenshaw. Hamill for 3, and the lead, she got it. And St. Xavier goes up by 3, 11-8. That's their first 3 of the game. Indiana Tech's got 2. They've really been held in check, though. This 2-3 zone, or perhaps more of a matchup zone, has caused some problems for the Warriors. But Whitaker able to move through the zone. Worm has it blocked. Off to Hamill. Open from the corner is Green, couldn't put it home. And now here comes Covington. Can she finish? Count it, and a foul. Taylor Covington, the freshman, able to take it to the cup, and she's got a chance to tie the game. Jenna Hernandez is in now for St. Xavier. And we got 1:46 to go as Covington goes to the free throw line. She missed it. Well, it was Indiana Tech who was knocking down their free throws against Hamilton on Tuesday, but Miami Hamilton was struggling from the free throw line. So far, Indiana Tech is 0 for 3 from the stripe. Jaden Green with the basketball. Shot clock ticking down towards 10. Sophie Carr with the dish, down to 7. Left-handed layup too strong, and Foy is able to grab the rebound. Wide open on the inside is Smith. Covington for 3, it's good. Taylor Covington gives Tech the lead. She's got the last 5 points in this game. Good ball movement by the Cougars. That jump shot no good. Smith's got the board. Final minute of the first half. A baseline drive by Whitaker. She slows it down. Worm on the baseline. Able to find Smith. Foy has it swatted away. They got to be impressed by the active hands of St. Xavier. Leah Chudzik on the drive, dishes it outside. Hernandez for 3, that's off the mark. Worm going after it, she's got it. She'll slow it down very close to the timeline. Now she gets it across. Trying to let her teammates get back across so they could set up the offense. And now Whitaker will set it up. Shot clock is turned off, it's down to 5. And an offensive foul, an illegal screen called on Bethany Worm. They say that Worm came in and pushed against the screener. Obviously, when you set a screen, you're supposed to just stand in one place and set yourself. Of course, the trick is you got to do it just barely before the defender gets there. That's a long 3 that does not fall. The shot taken by Aaliyah Durrell. So we go to the third quarter. Indiana Tech leading 13-11, but St. Xavier giving them all they can handle. Back after this on this broadcast of Indiana Tech Warriors basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Just about ready to start the second quarter. Indiana Tech up 13-11. However, St. Xavier has made things difficult for them. They've used a lot of matchup zone, a little bit of 2-3 zone or 2-3 looks on a number of occasions. And it has forced a good few turnovers from the Warriors. By the way, it's worth mentioning Warriors softball is picked to finish fourth in the WAC conference, not the NAIA, the WAC conference. They had a pretty good run in the WAC conference last year as Hernandez dishes that ball off. A little shot fake, and they're going to call traveling on Neighbors. So far, 3 turnovers given up by Indiana Tech. There's a foul on the inside. And they're going to say that that was on the shot. I believe that's Decker who's at the line for the Warriors. It is Decker, and that's short, an air ball. Indiana Tech has not made a free throw yet in this game. They clearly outshot Miami Hamilton from the line on Tuesday, but tonight haven't made one until now. Decker stops the bleeding from the charity stripe for the time being. 14-11. A nice feed inside, and they're going to wave it off, traveling the call against Crenshaw. And Indiana Tech takes over, up by 3. Talked about the turnovers by Indiana Tech. The turnovers by St. Xavier have cost them, particularly things like traveling. They've been called for that a few times already tonight. Entry pass in to Foy. Foy gets around the defender. That's a catch and shoot 3 for Whitaker, and she nails it. Check that, it's Covington, Taylor Covington, the freshman. Whitaker's actually not on the floor right now. That's a long 3 by Neighbors. Comes up short, right to Erica Foy. Covington, the step back 3 that time, too strong. Over the top for the rebound goes Smith, but she lost it. And back come the Cougars. That was awful close to a carry by Eliana Durrell. Fawcett into the paint, fouled on the way up. They call it on Taylor Covington. That's her first. And it will be Cougars basketball on the baseline. They will not be shooting free throws here. I don't believe the Cougars have shot a free throw yet in this game. So it's not that they have the advantage from the line. Taking a long time to get it in. Now they do. Over to Durrell. Durrell guarded by Covington. The ball's poked out, but recovered by Peyton Reese. Check that. That's Claire Austin. 3 ball on the way. Too strong. And the Warriors have it. As Covington comes up with the ball. It was Worm who got the rebound. Decker drives to the basket and gets fouled. So Genevieve Decker-Terrace will go to the free throw line. Into the game comes Corey Hamill. I beg your pardon, the Cougars actually have shot a couple free throws. They're 2 for 2 from the line. Alyssa Streeter hit both of those. Decker able to hit that one as the Warriors try to put their early free throw struggles to bed. But Decker couldn't hit the second. Durrell dribble to the left, slows down and finds Maya Fawcett. That floater's too strong and Decker's got the board. Covington across the timeline. She's got Decker there to set a screen for her. Covington wanted the three by the looks of things. And now here goes Whitaker down the baseline. Bethany Worm, a little pull-up jumper. It's too strong. Offensive rebound, putback is good. Erica Foy with the bucket to get the Warriors to a 9-point lead. Quick down the floor come the Cougars. That basket will not go, but Crenshaw was fouled. They call it on Erica Foy. That's her first. And for Alyssa Crenshaw, this is her first trip this game to the charity stripe. Able to connect on the first one. Second one rims out of bounds off of the Cougars. They'll allow a sub to come in. That is Peyton Reese, the sophomore out of Romeoville, Illinois. Assistant coach Kylene Biggs calls out the play to Erica Foy. And right off the bat, Covington fires a three, but it wouldn't fall. Quick down the floor goes Durrell, and that's out of bounds, a turnover by the Cougs. The Cougars, they've turned it over, looks like a grand total of 7 times, so that turnover bug's starting to bite them. Burris able to kick that one out to Whitaker. Good find on the inside, and that is a kick ball. Genevieve Decker threw it off the foot of a defender. And keeps the possession alive for Indiana Tech. That ball is poked away, and St. Xavier has it. Down the floor as Streeter leads that one off. Step back three, Durrell comes up short. Covington's got it across the timeline, finds Smith. Smith wanted to shoot that three. Off the hands of Foy, she gets it back. Loose ball out of bounds off of Smith. So far, 5 turnovers in the game for Indiana Tech. As Durrell dribbles around teammates, guarded by Burris, came very close to dribbling a second time, but they turn it over anyway. Warriors trying to take advantage as Foy races down the floor. Can't finish though. Put back no good and a foul. I believe that was Burris who got the rebound and will be headed to the free throw line here. Foul was called on Kalia Neighbors. And Juliana Burris is at the free throw line. 5:41 to go. Indiana Tech holding on to an 8-point lead. They've struggled from the free throw line in this game, though. But Burris able to hit her first one. The Olivet Nazarene players just getting here. They'll be taking on Rochester right after this game's all done. And for the first time in this game, Indiana Tech goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. They'd struggled in that area, but Burris able to go 2 and 2. And Jessie Biggs able to dodge that ball that was headed right towards her. Just I think she got out of the way of it. And it does go as a turnover for St. Xavier. I believe that makes 9 turnovers for St. Xavier. Smith finds Whitaker. Whitaker fires a 3. Got it! Halfway down, and eventually it goes. That's the third 3 of the game for Whitaker, 25-12. She had 5 threes against Miami Hamilton. That's 3 seconds in the lane. They get Maya Fawcett for staying in the paint a little bit too long. And a timeout. Timeout taken by St. Xavier. It's a full timeout, so we'll take one right along with them here on Indiana Tech Warrior Basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Indiana Tech trying to get to 3-1 on the season. Still got a whole nother half of basketball to be played and a whole nother 5 minutes and 8 seconds here in this second quarter. As Indiana Tech has a 13-point lead over St. Xavier. Kyra Whitaker so far in this game has 3 threes. She remains in the ball game. Trying to add to that great performance she had on Tuesday night. What a move by Whitaker. Uses the glass, but it's too strong. Trying to thread the needle through 3, maybe 4 defenders that time. Floater off the glass by Fawcett, no good. Offensive board, and the putback is good. That's Alyssa Crenshaw. Decker drives off the glass. Count it, and a foul! Genevieve Decker. The hoop and the harm. I believe that's Decker's first field goal of the game. She's up to 4 points total, but she could not hit the free throw. It's been an area where the Warriors have struggled in this game. That was not the case, though, against Miami Hamilton on Tuesday. They were hitting their free throws. Miami was not. The kick out to Fawcett. Entry pass inside. Crenshaw puts it home. Crenshaw having a good day out on the block for the Cougars. Little shot fake there, and they get it out to Foy. Whitaker using the shot fake. They get it inside. Decker puts it in from a tough angle. Genevieve Decker. Out to Crenshaw. She feeds that one inside. Left-handed shot, that's no good. But that will send Eliana Durrell to the free throw line. Subs will come in for Indiana Tech. That's Juliana Burris and Bethany Worm checking into the game. St. Xavier has shot it well from the charity stripe so far. But she missed that one, and I didn't say that up until that point St. Xavier had made all their free throws, but they had. All I said at first was that they've shot it well from the free throw line as Burris dishes that one off to Covington. Covington fakes the pass, and the foul is called away from the ball. That's going to go on Jaden Green. I'm going to call it free throws for Burris, it looks like. Or are they? The officials are discussing this. It's actually Whitaker who's at the free throw line right now. And they are going to let her shoot 2 free throws. Oh, Whitaker able to knock down her first one. I believe that's her first free throw of the game. She goes 2 for 2. .14 lead, largest of the game for Indiana Tech, and a foul was called down low. I think they got Bethany Worm for that one. That would be her second. Erica Foy will come in for the Warriors. She'll take the place of Worm. Fake the pass, looking for Green on the inbound. Tough catch, and Whitaker causes the turnover. Whitaker got her hands up and swatted that thing down, almost like a lineman at the line of scrimmage batting down a pass. Whitaker, the step back, that's a 3 if it goes, but it does not. Jaden Green comes down with the ball. Oh, check that. That's Alicia Smith, native of Homewood, Illinois. Back outside to Crenshaw. Her 3 is good. And Crenshaw, who's made some big buckets on the inside in this game, that time knocking one down from the outside and trying to keep St. Xavier in this one. Whitaker looked like she was thinking about a 3. They go inside to Foy. Foy one-on-one. Burris using the baseline. Pull-up jumper. It's short. Back out to Burris. Second chance for the Warriors. Covington sizes it up, but missed the 3. Long pass over to Crenshaw. She's wide open. She just hit a 3, but didn't get this one. All poke from behind. Hustle play. Jaden Green forces the turnover. Chudzik for 3. That's off the mark. Covington's got the board. Outlet Whitaker. That looked to be off of her. Apparently not. They say Alyssa Streeter was the first one to touch it, and checking into the game is Corey Hamill, along with Eliana Durrell. Whitaker. They got Covington out on the wing. Driving to the paint by Foy, and a foul is called. Nope, it's a jump ball. Possession arrow keeps it with the Warriors. As into the game comes Claire Austin. And a timeout. I think they said timeout Gray. Yep, that's the first timeout Indiana Tech has used in this game. Well, we'll stay with you for the time being and show you a couple of our replays. And so far, one of the stars of the game has been none other than Kyra Whitaker. see it shortly after this inbound as Indiana Tech had not yet gotten on the board, but Whitaker changes all that with that long triple. You just see the range that Whitaker has. She's an incredible shooter coming off that 5 3-pointer performance against Miami Hamilton. This time after what looked like a blocked shot, Indiana Tech going to take the lead again. Whitaker right in transition. She wastes no time. And that gives Indiana Tech what was a 6-point lead. Their lead's up to 31-20. Had led by as many as 13. Beg your pardon, as many as 14. Long inbound, and they get it to Burris. Burris sidesteps against the screen, down to 8 on the shot clock. Burris loses it. Racing down the floor is Austin. Into the paint, off glass, no good. That's Foy who rips away the loose ball. Over to Burris. Check that, that's Decker. Genevieve Decker on the floor for Indiana Tech. And here's Whitaker looking to use the baseline. And a foul is called. Nope, a jump ball. That will give the possession to St. Xavier. For Indiana Tech, that's 7 turnovers in the game so far, but it's poked away from behind, and Burris almost had forced a turnover. She knocked it out of bounds. Durrell with the feed. They get the ball inside. That shot is good with 4 on the shot clock. Corey Hamill with the bucket, and it's a 9-point game. Indiana Tech still with the lead. Burris couldn't hit the reverse, but an offensive rebound by Covington. Whitaker left open. Nails a 3. Are you kidding me? Well, you give her that kind of space, and Whitaker can take advantage. Off the glass on the shot by Austin, and it's out of bounds. Ball will stay with St. Xavier. 17.8 on the clock. Indiana Tech trying to hold the lead. They're up 12. They likely will hold it for the end of this half, and this ball's knocked out of bounds. It's off of Decker. 17.3 seconds to go. Warriors 2-1 on the season. St. Xavier comes in at 0-1. In fact, all the teams in this tournament except for Indiana Tech come in at 0-1. That shot curls off the rim. Crenshaw with the shot, and a foul is called. They called on Alyssa Crenshaw. And that will send Erica Foy to the free throw line for the Warriors. 7.7 to go. And Foy's able to cash in. Early on, the Warriors struggled from the charity stripe, but get a couple of good free throw shooters up there, and they can start to change that. But Foy in and out on that shot. Offensive board by Decker. It's knocked out of bounds. It will be Indiana Tech ball with 6 seconds on the clock. They didn't get both free throws, but the Warriors will have a chance to add to their lead before halftime, even more than what they had. Inbound to Whitaker. Who else do you want controlling the ball here? Clock down to 2. Whitaker dishes it, and Foy puts it in at the buzzer. Well done by the Warriors. Excellent work by Whitaker, working the clock down, drawing defenders, and she finds Foy for the bucket to cap off the first half. And it's a first half where the Warriors lead it by 15. They ended on a three-point play, but not even the traditional three-point play. It's the rare kind of three-point play. We'll talk more about that when we come back, but right now Warriors lead at 37-22. You are watching Indiana Tech Warrior basketball, and this broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Hi, I'm Paxton, and I'll be your tour guide today. Behind me, we have Pearson Hall. This is one of our freshman dorms on campus. Today, I'll be showing you dorm rooms. Come inside. The only way to get into campus is if you have an ID card, so you'll have to swipe into all the dorms. And then over here, we have an intercom system. So through every dorm, we have these dial buttons within the dorm rooms and then outside. So say you're visiting somebody, you don't live here, you would dial their room number, and then you can actually call their room, and they can unlock the doors to the dorm through the intercom system, and you can talk to them. They can see you through a camera, and they can unlock the doors for you so they don't have to leave the room. It's really nice to have. So right here we just have our main lobby. Every floor has a lobby. In the lobbies we just have TVs and stuff. You can watch movies, play video games. You can hang out with friends, do homework, play card games. It's just a nice little hangout area to have. And then right here, this is what we call our RA office. So every single night there will be an RA in the office. They're just there for your needs if you have any issues with toilets or sinks or anything being clogged. They'll always be in there for your help. If you have questions about anything, you can always come see an RA here. And then over here, we have mailboxes. Every student has a mailbox. They are really small. The only thing they can fit is card-sized items. Throughout campus, you'll see our mail room when you go on your actual tour later on, and that will be in one of our other buildings where you'll receive bigger packages. All right, so here's the laundry room. So in the laundry room, you don't have to save quarters or use quarters. I know it says 25 cents, but it is included with living on campus. And then there's one on every floor and every side of floor, so there's 2 on every floor in Pearson. So every student has keys to their dorm. And then as you come in, you will see our intercom system right here that I talked about in the entranceway. So this is where you would unlock the door for visitors, talk to them. And then one really nice thing about it is there is a security guard button right there. So if you were to have somebody calling your room constantly at 5 o'clock in the morning because some student forgot their keys, you could actually press the security guard button and it will lock them in that little box that we entered into the dorm. It'll lock both the outside doors and the inside doors and call security. So it also has a nice safety measure within your room. You don't even have to leave your room for that. So that's really nice. And then as we enter in this way, you'll see this is the half of our room looks like. So there's this, and then on the other side of the suite, there's a mirrored room that looks exactly like this. The desk, the dressers, and the closets, and all of the drawers and stuff all come with. You can decorate it any way you'd like, and then mini fridges, TVs, anything like that you would bring here. And then through here we have our bathroom. So then as we come into the bathroom, you'll see that this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then as you come through, there's one shower shared between the 2 rooms, and then this side of the room has their own sink and toilet, and then there's the mirrored room right here. So then they share a little common space out there, and then this is the exact same stuff, and it's all the same. Here we have Calflesh. This is our other freshman dorm on campus. It is across the street from main campus. We'll be showing another freshman dorm, the laundry room, and then the hangout lobby area. Come on in. So same thing as Pearson. To get into the dorms, you have to have a swipe card that unlocks and lets you in. All right, and then we have the same intercom system as we do in Pearson, and it runs throughout all of the dorms. And then in here is the lobby area where all the students hang out. We have a TV so people can hook up Xboxes or anything like that, DVD players, you can watch movies. I know RAs put on a bunch of activities down here. They do movie nights with hot chocolate during the winter. We've done pumpkin carving, and we watch a Halloween movie, and so that's all done down here. And then it's the same thing over here. You can do some studying, you can hang out with friends, you can eat dinner if you want, and like I said, you can hang out with your RA, hang out with your friends, do homework, but follow me to the next part. So same thing as Pearson, every student has keys to their dorm. So when you first walk in, it's different than Pearson where there's no like 2 mirrored room. It's just one room with 2 students. The shelves, the desks, the drawers, all of the beds and stuff all come with. And then over here, it's the same for Pearson and Kalbflesh. You can control the air condition and the heat for the room, not the entire dorm, which is so nice because then it's between you and your roommate, not through hundreds of people in one building. And then as we walk over here, you'll see that the sink is outside of the bathroom, which is so nice because obviously if your roommate's showering, you don't have to worry about not being able to brush your teeth or even use the sink or get a drink of water or anything like that. And then as we walk over here, you'll see only 2 roommates to 1 bathroom. And then the shelving space. And then instead of Pearson where they have closets, you would have this whole shelving space and hanger area. And then same thing as Pearson, we have the intercom system over here where you can press the security guard button, you can talk to them, and then see them through the camera. Kalbflesh also has mailboxes. They're the same size. They fit card-sized items. And again, if you have any bigger packages, we do have a mailroom on campus. So then through here, this is the laundry room. The difference between Pearson and Kalbflesh is Kalbflesh, there's only one in the whole building and it's on the first floor, whereas Pearson has them on every floor. But it is the same as they are included with living here, so you don't have to use quarters. It's free to the students. And that concludes the tour. Thanks for coming with. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to your counselor. Hope to see you around campus. Go Warriors!
Well, welcome back to the Schaefer Center here at Indiana Tech. The Warriors lead against St. Xavier 37-22 at the half. We'll go ahead and show you a couple of the late buckets that helped lead to Indiana Tech's 15-point lead. St. Xavier was on a bit of a comeback trail, and after a second chance opportunity, Kyra Whitaker is going to let it fly, and she hits her 4th 3 of the game. That's right, 4 threes for Kyra Whitaker. She had 5 on Tuesday against Miami Hamilton. And then on the last possession of the first half, it's going to be Whitaker with the ball in her hands again. They're going to get it to her initially with 7 seconds on the clock, and then Whitaker uses the screen, draws defenders, and then a nice feed there at the last second to Erica Foy. And Foy, the beneficiary of not only the points, but also of the unselfishness of Kyra Whitaker and drawing defenders to herself to set Foy up. Great way to end the first half for Indiana Tech. And that was off a missed free throw where the Warriors got a second chance opportunity. A ball that was out of bounds off of St. Xavier. A reminder that we've got Rochester versus Olivet Nazarene coming up after this game is all said and done. Now that is St. Xavier who's back out on the floor, although Rochester wears similar looking jerseys. But again, it will be Rochester versus Olivet Nazarene after this game is all said and done. We're back in just a matter of moments. You are watching Indiana Tech Warriors basketball. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260s dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
It is 37-22, Indiana Tech on top of St. Xavier. Here's a look at the first half stats. For St. Xavier, Alyssa Crenshaw led the way with 12 points. Corey Hamill added 5. Other than that, it's Alyssa Street with 2. And Claire Austin with 2. Kalia Neighbors with just 1. For Indiana Tech, it will not surprise you that Kyra Whitaker is the leading scorer. She's got 14 points. Taylor Covington has 8. Genevieve Decker has 6. Erica Foy has 5. Juliana Burris and Corinne Smith have 2 apiece. Indiana Tech has turned the ball over 7 times. However, St. Xavier has turned it over 11 times. So Indiana Tech's defense doing a good job tonight, forcing the turnovers and not necessarily keeping them to a minimum on their side, but they are on the plus side, or the minus side, you might say, as far as turnovers. They have fewer turnovers than the Cougars tonight. We'll remind you also that Indiana Tech men's and women's hockey are in action tonight. The men are on the road taking on Concordia, and the women look like they are just about to start their home game against Concordia. The women's hockey team in Indiana Tech, by the way, is 8-2 on the season. Great season for them, taking on a 3-4 Concordia team. Well, we will be back in just a matter of moments. Second half starts in less than 2 minutes. You are watching Indiana Tech Warriors basketball. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
I think it's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The 2 things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets, and also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors, because you become more personable with them. You start to engage in the material more. They can give you recommendations, especially once you get out of college. You definitely want to put them down as like references, and if you have a better personal relationship, it just makes the whole learning experience go smoothly.
Just about ready to start the second half here at the Schaefer Center on the campus of Indiana Tech as they lead St. Xavier 37-22. Indiana Tech coming in at 2-1, St. Xavier 0-1. Just their second game of the season. In fact, both Rochester and Olivet Nazarene, who will play following this game, are also 0-1 on the season. Warrior basketball to start the second half. And there is Kyra Whitaker. 4 threes in this game, 14 points total. She did a good job drawing defenders to herself to close out the last half. And there is three-ball number 5 for the second game in a row. Whitaker hits 5 threes in the game. Kyra Whitaker having quite a week. 10 threes total this week. And we still got almost the entire second half to play. Open 3 for Crenshaw. She's hit 1, and now she's got 2. Bethany Worm going to let it fly. A little bit off the mark. Cougars go right back down the floor. Austin fires a 3. That's in and out. They get it up to Whitaker. Whitaker looks to drive. Tried to leave it off for Worm. Worm goes to the deck, and they're going to call that a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to St. Xavier. Across the timeline comes Fawcett. They work the ball inside, and that shot is good. Crenshaw with the bucket. And 5 straight points early on in the second half for St. Xavier. They try to thread the needle to Whitaker. Knocked out of bounds, Warrior ball.
Come on, right after.
Covington wants to put it in, finds Whitaker. Whitaker sizing it up, drives into the paint, gets it away to Foy, no good. And Crenshaw rips the board away from her. Racing down the floor is Durrell. Catch and shoot 3 comes up short. And the Warriors have it. Burris down the floor slows it down. And she loses it out of bounds. Durrell brings it across the timeline for St. Xavier. As Jesse Biggs will send a sub, that's Genevieve Decker. Fawcett for 3 from the wing, it's short. And that is Whitaker. Whitaker slows it down. Looking to spin inside, tough shot and a foul. Foul is called on Durrell. Kyra Whitaker at the free throw line. She's able to hit the first one. She started the second half with a 3, her 5th of the game. Second game in a row where she's hit 5 threes or more. Goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. For Whitaker, she's got 19 points. Leads all Warrior scorers. Wide open, Crenshaw had a tough time catching the ball, though. Was thrown behind her, and a foul is called on the floor. Called the foul on Worm. They get the ball into Crenshaw. Catch and shoot 3 from the corner. It's good. Eliana Durrell with the 3 ball, and it's a 12-point lead for the Warriors. Foy drives and puts it home. Erica Foy with a much-needed bucket as St. Xavier starting to close the gap a little bit. Crenshaw off the glass, and Foy's able to grab the rebound and keep it in play. Whitaker off the kick from Foy, and Whitaker comes up short. Floater in the paint, count it, and a foul. Claire Austin. Corinne Smith gets called for the foul. Jaden Green into the game. As Austin tries to complete a three-point play. Could not get it to fall. Whitaker with the board, and there she goes quick down the floor. Wide open is Decker. Genevieve Decker scores in transition. And a timeout quickly taken, and that will leave St. Xavier with 2 timeouts. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll just stay with you for this one. Well, we've seen the three-point shooting of Kyra Whitaker. We've also seen the unselfishness and the facilitation that she brings to the table. And that's exactly what you saw in this possession. She gets the rebound, and then Genevieve Decker comes wide open. And I don't know what to call that kind of pass. Either it's not baseball, it's not shot put. But either way, she found Decker wide open. It's almost like a combination of, if you could combine a baseball throw with a shot put throw, I think that's exactly what Whitaker just did there. Inbound goes to Durrell. A catch and shoot three for Green, and Jaden Green knocks it down, and St. Xavier closing the gap again, down to 11 as Burris gets around the screen. Curling in is Whitaker. This is Covington with the basketball, and Covington gets into the paint. Last second feed, and Decker puts it in. Genevieve Decker with the last 4 points for Indiana Tech. Eliana Durrell back across the timeline. She's from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Green hit the three on the last possession. And that shot by Hamill is no good. Out of bounds. And it's Indiana Tech ball. And meanwhile, we've got a player down for St. Xavier. And we're going to take a quick injury timeout here and be back in just a matter of moments on this broadcast of Indiana Tech Warrior basketball.
Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Well, I can't quite tell, but that might be Maya Fawcett who's down there on the court being looked at by the athletic trainer along with head coach Travis Brewster. Right now hoping that she can be all right, and if not be able to go back in this game, go back at some point in the season. But she's off the floor, and check that. That's Jaden Green, number 24, not Maya Fawcett. Well, Green's a pretty good player. We certainly hope the best for her. Good news is she's able to sit up. Question is, how much else can she do? She's going to be helped off the floor, and it looks like she doesn't want to put much weight on that right leg. And no, she doesn't want to put any weight on it. So they're going to walk her over to the bench, perhaps to the locker room. For now, just take her to the bench, it looks like. And for the time being, Jaden Green will be out of the game. Certainly hope the best for her as she is down there on the floor. And again, clearly did not want to put any weight on that right leg.
Go, Tech.
It's Warrior basketball. They lead it by 13. And later on, we'll hope to get you some updates from Indiana Tech Warrior hockey. Men are on the road against Concordia. The women are hosting Concordia. Covington with a feed inside to Foy. Got it! High off the glass from Foy. Warriors have a 15-point lead. The largest lead has been 18. St. Xavier's been hanging around just a little bit here in the second half as a foul is called on the interior. I think they're going to get Foy for that foul. Nope, check that. It's Corinne Smith, sophomore out of Fenton, Michigan. The lob, Austin, no good. Offensive board, though. And Chudzik puts it home. Foy finds Whitaker. Whitaker will back it out. And a whistle blows away from the ball. Foul is called on Maya Fawcett. They get it into Foy, and she's fouled on the way up. Well, how about this? Indiana Tech in the first period of the women's hockey game against Concordia, they're up 3-0. How about that start for the women's hockey team as Erica Foy is able to knock down that first free throw. Gets both of them. Free throw shooting has been a lot better lately, late in the first half and here in the second half as Fawcett feeds that one off. Drive to the basket by Chudzik. Pull up three by Sophie Carr. That's off the mark. But the putback is good. In the end, it's Maya Fawcett who gets the bucket. St. Xavier still hanging around, down 13. Here's Covington. Brings it back outside. Little bounce pass inside to Decker. And Decker just heaved that one up, no good. Cross court to Fawcett, trying to get by Whitaker. Floater comes up short. And a foul is called as Whitaker went for the rebound. First free throw is good. And by the way, a little more specific on that update, Megan Yakachuk has 2 goals for the Indiana Tech women's hockey team against Concordia. Again, that's only in the first period. Second free throw rims out. Battle for the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds by Whitaker. Whitaker had a chance at the board, but instead it remains in St. Xavier's possession. Maya Fawcett will put the ball in play. Streeter for three. That's off the mark. Offensive board, though, and the elongated possession continues. Crenshaw couldn't finish. Another offensive board. Streeter, pull-up jumper, got it. A long possession ends as a three-point possession for St. Xavier, and they've worked it to a 10-point game after being down by as many as 18. Whitaker backs this one out, looking to drive, instead finds Smith. And that's going to be a defensive foul, a blocking foul. Well, I thought the initial signal was St. Xavier foul. So the foul's on 33. That would be Leah Chudzik. So it would appear that it is against St. Xavier. And it is. That's Foy to inbound. Gets it into Covington. Whitaker on the drive. Contact and an offensive foul. And boy, does that draw some excitement from the St. Xavier bench. And now Whitaker is shaken up. Jesse Biggs coming out to check on her, and Whitaker is telling her, "I'm all right, coach." Whitaker looked quite a bit woozy there, but she gets up out of that, and she's able to stay in the game. We'll certainly hope that she is able to continue on the rest of the way, Lord willing. But a lead that was once 18 for Indiana Tech is now down to 10. This is Leah Chudzik around the screen. Jaden Green left the game earlier. Streeter, the floater off the glass, no good. Warriors get a stop. Hadn't got one of those in quite a while, but this time they do. Smith, they give it to Whitaker. Covington around the screen. They got Foy posting up inside. Whitaker's already had an outstanding performance tonight. 19 points in the game. But she'll leave that one off for Covington. Covington's three's off the mark. Whitaker finds it and hits the reverse. And Whitaker is over 20 points for the second game in a row. She's scored in double figures in every game so far. But this is the second game in a row where she's eclipsed 20. 21 for this game for Whitaker. As Indiana Tech trying to weather the comeback effort, keep it at a double-digit lead. Shot clock down to 9 here. Fawcett, pull-up jumper. That's short. Battle for the rebound. Smith had it. Still battling, and it's a jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to the Warriors. Little 1-2-2 zone press put on here by St. Xavier. Foy across the timeline, able to find Covington. Covington zips it inside. Left-handed shot is good by Erica Foy. Warriors get back-to-back buckets. They lead it by 14. The dish inside. Crenshaw, count it, and a foul. St. Xavier not going away as Crenshaw continues to have an outstanding performance. For the Cougars. Crenshaw's up to 19 points for the game. The sub will come in. That is Corey Crenshaw is able to complete the three-point play. More pressure put on by the Cougars. Warriors get the ball across the timeline. Decker into the paint. Puts it in. A little finger roll off the glass. You don't see those often. Around the screen goes Fawcett. That pass is tipped and taken away by Decker. And we're inside the final minute of the third quarter. Kind of been a back and forth quarter. It started with Indiana Tech leading by 15 and eventually taking an 18-point lead. But so far they've been able to weather most of the storms as Burris gets fouled. The shot clock down to 8. And they're going to call this foul on Alyssa Crenshaw. Looks like this will send Juliana Burris to the free throw line. As into the game comes Abby Carr. Or check that, Sophie Carr. Both sophomores out of Indianapolis. They went to Roncalli High School. Burris is able to connect on that free throw. Free throw shooting's been a lot better for the Warriors starting in the second quarter and continuing on into the second half. This is Bree Dawson coming off the bench, and Burris true on both. Bree Dawson went to Heritage High School. Ball is stolen away by Covington. Covington just ripped away the pass, and now the Warriors are going to get the ball across the timeline with Whitaker. They can hold for the final shot of the quarter. Whitaker draining time down to 6 seconds. Slows down. Stops and pops at the buzzer. Too strong. Kyra Whitaker going for her 6th three of the game. Already an impressive night. 21 points, 5 made threes, and we will be back for the start of the fourth quarter. This broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Almost ready to start the fourth quarter. Indiana Tech with a 15-point lead over St. Xavier, trying to win the first game of the Warrior Classic, the 2022 edition of the Warrior Classic. Already an outstanding performance for Kyra Whitaker. 5 threes, she scored 20 points, and she's done both of those things for the second game in a row. Actually, more specifically, she scored 21 points tonight. That shot is good. I believe that was Crenshaw who got the bucket. It's back to a 13-point lead. St. Xavier still hanging around. Covington gives it over to Worm on the baseline. Finds Decker cutting to the basket. She's fouled. Check that. That was Foy. Erica Foy cutting to the basket, and she'll go to the line. Could not get the first one to fall. Second one's also short. I don't believe Foy had missed from the line up until that trip. That's the top of the key for Carr. Hamill feeds that one inside to Crenshaw, and that's an offensive foul. Worm going to fire a three on the other end, and that's too strong. On the other end, it's Crenshaw, and she puts it home. That's back-to-back buckets for her. Here's Burris. And Worm posting up inside. Check that was Decker. There's Worm. St. Xavier continues to hang around. Burris fouled on the way down the baseline. Fouled well before the shot. That shot will not count. Inbound to Whitaker. She fires right off the catch. It's no good. Worm has the board. Whitaker around the screen. Uses the baseline. Kicks to the corner. Worm again. A little too strong again. They lob it in. One gets to Crenshaw. Long three. That's an air ball. And nice effort by Corey Hamill, but she knocks it out of bounds. As Covington was staying right in front of her the whole way to make sure that that ball went out of bounds. They get it back to Burris across the timeline. Whitaker drives into the paint, the kick. Covington for three. Yes! Taylor Covington. And I believe that puts her in double figures for the second time this year. Covington's a freshman. She started most of the games for the Warriors. In fact, I think she started all of them, if I'm not mistaken. Jenna Hernandez loses the ball. Burris to the deck to get it. And she finds Covington. Covington zips it inside for Foy. Tough catch. Oh, Foy couldn't put it in. Wrestling it down is Crenshaw. That sure looked like a travel. It's going to be a jump ball in the end. Possession arrow will keep it with Indiana Tech. But it sure looked like she took that ball to the deck. Taylor Covington waiting to put it in play. Now the officials will discuss something. Are they discussing whether or not traveling occurred? It sure looked like it did. The jump ball was called after the fact. Kick to Covington. I don't think that call. No, it hasn't been changed. It's still just going to be a jump ball to the Warriors. The next jump ball will go to the Cougars. Wide open is Sophie Carr. Her three doesn't fall. Worm and Foy battled with each other for the rebound. The lob inside to Foy. Caught it at a tough angle. Couldn't go up for the shot. And now a whistle blows, and that's a jump ball. That'll go back to St. Xavier. This is Streeter with the basketball. She gets it outside to Carr. Carr. High off the glass, and she puts it in. Here's Whitaker across the timeline. She slows down. Worm thinking about a three, not yet firing one. Worm goes down. She's back up. And Covington back to her. And Worm's three rolls right out. Streeter tried to hand that one off. I don't think Hernandez was ready for it. Lob to Crenshaw inside the paint. Carr fires a three. It's off the mark. And here's Covington across the timeline. Covington slows it down, gets a screen from Foy. And check that, it's Whitaker. Whitaker's shot no good. We'll double check, though, as Covington appeared to be in double figures for the second time this season. Timeout called here. Called by Travis Brewster of St. Xavier. And it's a full timeout from what we're told. And there's the signal. It is a full timeout. So we'll be back in just a moment here on this broadcast of Indiana Tech Warrior basketball.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Indiana Tech leading 63 to 51, trying to hold on and get their third win of the season, coming in at 2-1 on the year. Almost stolen on the inbound. But Indiana Tech hosting the Warrior Classic. They'll play Olivet Nazarene tomorrow. Whitaker got a hand on the ball, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow should give it to the Warriors. And indeed, that is the call. Foy slows down. They get the ball across the timeline to Decker. Inside to Foy. Off the glass, it's good. Erica Foy starting to play a huge role in this one for Indiana Tech. Foy now up to 15 points. Although Taylor Covington is in double figures for the night. She scored 11. Second time she's reached double figures in a game this season. Three from the corner is good. Maya Fawcett knocks it down. And St. Xavier still hanging around. Covington splits defenders. Covington, the dish to the corner for Worm. Covington off the fake, drives down the baseline. Off the glass, no good. Streeter gets it back over to Durrell. Inside to Crenshaw. Crenshaw against several defenders, missed the shot, out of bounds. Cougar ball. Shot blocked, but a foul. Streeter took the shot, and it's Whitaker who's called for the foul. Into the game comes Juliana Burris. For Whitaker, that's her third foul of the game. She'll take a break, 4:12 to go, and just an 11-point lead for Indiana Tech. St. Xavier hanging around. They've not backed down despite falling behind by 18 points. That's the largest lead the Warriors have had. And one more free throw And the Cougars will get this thing to single digits. Hasn't been at that point since the second quarter. She missed it. Decker with the rebound for the Warriors. A little pressure put on by St. Xavier, and they find Covington. Covington letting some time tick off before she thinks about a shot, before she or anybody else does. Foy lost the ball, but it was off of the Cougars. And now Whitaker will quickly come back into the game. Eight seconds on the shot clock. They go inside to Foy. She grabs it, puts up the shot, got it. Erica Foy with the shot clock winding down, able to connect. Indiana Tech got the best of both worlds there. Took some time off the shot clock and got points out of it too. And Foy gets a rebound, so add a stop to that. Burris across the timeline. Fawcett trying to barricade her. They get it over to Covington. Fake the pass to Whitaker, and now they zip it inside to her, and she scores on the reverse. I believe that puts Whitaker up to 23 points for the game. A lob inside, Crenshaw. Blocked by Foy. Crenshaw got it back, and that's going to be a jump ball. Crenshaw fought after it despite the block shot by Foy. And now coming into the game is Leah Chudzik. A quick catch and shoot. The three ball is out, no good. In and out on the three, and back down the floor comes Decker. She'll let Burris take it. Burris around Fawcett, drives the basket, draws contact, and a foul. Alyssa Streeter called for that foul. Burris able to hit that first one. Indiana Tech will get at least 70 points for this one. She hits both of them. Olivet, Nazarene, and Rochester set to follow this one. As Streeter drives into the paint, floater off the glass, off the mark. And that shot is good. Two more for the Warriors, and a steal and a foul. Was that Whitaker? Nope, that's Covington. Taylor Covington creates the turnover and almost got a bucket out of it, but she'll go to the free throw line. That free throw no good by Covington. But this 18-point lead matches the largest lead that the Warriors have had tonight. Covington has scored in double figures for the second time this year. But she goes 0 for 2 on that trip to the free throw line. She does have 11 points for the game. Crenshaw looking to get it inside, instead goes outside. Pull up three, Streeter, yes! Streeter knocks it down. A long pass across the timeline to Burris. Or check that, that's Decker. Did Foy get across the timeline? Apparently so. That was close to being over and back. Baseline drive, Worm. Shot clock winding down. It's down to 5. Of course, the benefit for that is that the Warriors can take the game clock down as well, and they get a second chance on the rebound there by Decker. Whitaker will back it out. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Whitaker down to 2. Got to get it off. They don't. Or did they? They let it go. I thought that they didn't get it off in time, but instead, they say the Warriors did get it off, and Whitaker will take some more time off the clock. We've got less than a minute to play. Down to 3, Whitaker passes it off, and this time it is a shot clock violation. And we've got a player down for St. Xavier. She's able to get back up. Streeter will inbound for St. Xavier. Whitaker and Worm will take a breather for the night. Whitaker puts in a 23-point performance. Second straight 20-plus point game this year. Streeter misfires on the 3 ball. They throw it back outside. Chudzik for 3, and that's no good. Or check that. That was Durrell. A reminder that coming up next, it's Rochester taking on Olivet Nazarene. Indiana Tech will play Olivet Nazarene tomorrow as part of the Warrior Classic. They get the ball to Camille Keys. Bree Dawson in the game as well. Came in early against Miami Hamilton on Tuesday night, and she made quite the presence on the boards, grabbing rebounds for the Warriors. But this game will come to an end as Indiana Tech knocks off St. Xavier by a final score of 73-58. The win puts Indiana Tech at 3-1 on the season, 3 straight victories for the Warriors, and again they'll take on Olivet Nazarene tomorrow. Olivet Nazarene takes on Rochester in just a matter of moments. Well, in the meantime, we'll go ahead and award our Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game, and tonight that player is none other than Kyra Whitaker. 23 points scored, 5 threes for the second game in a row, 20-plus points scored for the second game in a row. Kyra Whitaker, your Parkview Sports Medicine Player of the Game. And that's going to do it for game number 1 at the Warrior Classic. Game 2 between Olivet Nazarene and Rochester comes your way in just a matter of moments. In the meantime, you have been watching Indiana Tech Warrior basketball on this broadcast brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.